My name is Scott Tofte. I own Tofte Auto and Sales and New World Salvage in Madison. New World Salvage is a niche market salvage company where we sell specialty vehicles, and our focus really is muscle car era vehicles, early 60s through early 70s.
A couple variations of Camaro, first generation and second. First generation would run 67 to 69, and then the second generation car 70 to 73, I mean, as far as...
And then the range exceeds that a little bit, 55, 6, 7 Chevrolets, and maybe some newer muscle car things that might run into the late 70s. But the main focus is early 60s to early 70s, and primarily steel bumper cars.
Chevy 2 Nova wagons, 65 and 67. The Mustang Mach 1, that's was a nice car prior to the crash. More of the same stuff. One street rod, that's a 47 Chev, otherwise second gen Camaro and some Novas sprinkled in here. A classic 65 Chevy hardtop on top of the trailer deck there. And then when it comes to pickups, the C-Series in the 60s are pretty hot stuff.
Madison's located midway between the major metroplexes, I guess, of Minneapolis, St. Paul, Fargo, and Sioux Falls. We're 150 miles west of Minneapolis, we're 150 miles south of Fargo, we're 135 miles north of Sioux Falls, so that's where we lie. We're about 10 miles from the South Dakota border. Growing up in the 60s and the 70s, muscle cars were quite prevalent, so my first encounters with the young guys that were buying that stuff and putting it on the street, I was impressed. You know, I liked the noise, and I liked the speed and the spinning tires and everything else, you know. And then I just I picked that up, and then that's what I wanted to drive. I didn't want a family four-door sedan. I wanted something that would go really fast and really loud and sideways if I needed it to, you know. I started with that stuff, and then it wasn't long. I was taking it apart and putting it back together and modifying it. Just having a good time with it. Some of these old photos, I mean, some of these date back to when I was literally still on the farm, and I was actually doing some farming with my dad. Other pictures here of my first location in Lewisburg, first building I ever rented where I was on my own, and 69 Camaro that I had done that brings back some memories. It was one of my favorite cars. As crazy as it sounds, I dream about still owning this car occasionally. It must have left an impression on me. Plenty of stories to tell that just from driving that car and having fun with it. So New World Salvage is a sideline to this business, and it's like I say, the focal point there is muscle car era stuff. So we're buying and reselling. We deal heavy in projects. We also have quite a number of parts cars, quite an inventory of parts and parts cars. So there are a certain number of these cars, unfortunately, that are hit hard enough that are coming in where they part out, and we'll be disassembling a certain amount of that stuff and then making parts available.
So this is a 72 Chevelle. It's a big block car. It came out of the Houston, Texas area. The car could go two different directions, parts or rebuild. I'm 90% sure the car will rebuild just because of what it is. To the layman, he might look at that and say, man, you're crazy. There's no rebuilding that thing. It's insane. You know, some of these, if you have the expertise to do the work, you can build a car and save some money. Maybe a lot of it's personal satisfaction, but some of them you can save some money on too. The big block Chevelle is probably a big deal, and it's a factory air car, so that's going to be attractive to somebody that's looking forward to having one or building one. It's not for everybody. It's not something that you can, it's not something that you're going to buy and take to a shop and say, fix this for me. That's not going to work. Dollar-wise, it's not going to pencil out. Then, if you're that guy, you need to go pick up a magazine, find a car, buy the car, drive the car. But these cars are mainly for people that have the expertise to put them together. Most of the inventory we have sells as is. So it comes in, it gets inventoried, it goes out, we remark it, somebody else buys it, they take it home, they build it.